Matt Porter is an IT and tech expert, and he joins you now. Morning, Matt.
Good morning.
I don't understand this, so maybe you can help me. It seems to have affected so many different things, from trains to planes to banks to media. What do you think's happened?
Well, it's still developing, so there's lots of information coming through at the moment, but it would indicate that it obviously relates to computers running Windows, which unfortunately is 72% of the global share of computers. So it's a large group of computers that be affected. But basically, there is a system which is used by Microsoft, by a company called Crowdstrike, which is called the Falcon. So these things always have amazing names, don't it? It doesn't really help. So it's called Falcon Sensor, which is what would be a security guard for your computer. A small program which sits there and monitors access to your computer and checks that it's not being hacked, there's nothing malicious happening, detects threats, all of those wonderful things it's supposed to do. What appears to have happened is that overnight, that system has had a software update which has caused a problem. So because these things are automatic and they're if your computer's switched on, or even if you've switched your computer on this morning and it's gone away and done an automatic update check, it's brought in something that's corrupted, it would appear, which is then causing this blue screen of death issue on lots and lots of computers around the world. But unfortunately, many, as you can see from your news, that many systems use Windows or Microsoft Windows, Azure, and all of those cloud systems to run their internal systems, booking, broadcast, all kinds of things, and they're all affected. Microsoft are saying that they have solved the issue, but that doesn't mean that the problem's gone away, because you still have what would be considered lots of computers around the world bricked, in other words, sitting there with a blue screen of death. So whether rebooting those computers will fix them is hasn't obviously been tested yet. It may work, but it may be that there needs to be intervention. I mean, I'm looking at different sites at the moment, and someone has, or one of the sites has posted a fix for it that they reckon will, and that's manually removing the link to CrowdStrike and then rebooting your computer. So it's dreadfully catastrophic what's happened, and it does sort of pull into question our reliance, or companies' reliance, on single entities to be careful with their updates, I guess.
I'm thinking about these engineers who put in this fix in. I can't imagine the stress knowing that you've grounded so many planes around the world, and calls aren't getting through to the emergency services, and the banks aren't working. Oh my goodness, imagine frenetic activity. This bug that seems to have got in, though, this is my simplistic way of understanding it. Do you think it's malicious, or is it just crept in?
I don't think it's malicious. It doesn't. There's nothing indicating it's malicious. What it indicates is that it was I think what it indicates a few things. One, how is it possible for a third party, because it appears to be a third party's provider has sufficient access to all of our Windows computers that could basically kill them completely dead, without any oversight, it would seem, from the companies providing the software. So there's lots of discussion on what's called kernel level access, and kernel level access in IT terms means that is the most basic access to your computer at the root level before you even you start booting your operating system. And if these software companies have access to change the kernel of your computer at the click of a switch, then that is quite alarming and needs looking at.
Well, we're seeing the impact.
I understand that Apple banned that So so people who have an Apple machine haven't got this issue because they're probably not using those services, but they don't allow access at that level by third parties.
Well, thanks ever so much for the update. We'll continue to let you know what's affected. Airlines are affected. We're hearing some of the check-in services at Birmingham Airport might be affected. Just seen a note about the Port of Dover is affected. So we'll let you know how this develops here on BBC Radio WM. Remarkably, we're all fine. It's all right, yeah? Keep looking, thinking that any minute now it's just going to go...